AudioJungle.
Those humans and that stupid little sport of theirs. I mean, why sit in tiny ships with sunlight engines and fly around in a circuit and try and beat the others by becoming first to pass the finish line? It's stupid. So stupid I had to look up Galactic SubFTL Racing Championships on the extranet to see why everyone in the galaxy is raving about it. Let me tell you the history of the sport. Trust me, you laugh at the stupidity of it all. First, the humans raced each other in their own few systems. At first the sport was called Solar Colonies Racing. Like most things it started plain and simple. The human colonies put forward their best pilots and compete. The pilots back then were mostly independent small teams with limited funds. Their ships were mostly old outdated ex-military fighters. Weapons removed of course. They spent countless cycles tuning their engines to near perfection. It wasn't long before those small teams of enthusiasts caught the eye of corporations who sponsored the racers. The specifications of their ships got redesigned from the ground up. The small teams grew to teams of dozens. Engineers, scientists, even biologists were hired to give them an edge against their rivals. A complete waste of money and time if you ask me. Anyway, human territory expanded, so did the racing. The humans made contact with the Zuin, you know those reptilian one with a weird tail. I'd say the first contact went pretty well in most cases. Just a few skirmishes along the borders of the two territories and minor battles. Lucky enough, the Galactic Council arrived and intervened by promising both a seat in the council if both sides agreed to a ceasefire. Not even 3 years later the treaties were almost broken thanks to those idiotic racers. A race took place along borders human territory. In a panic of an invasion, the Zuin mobilized its navy to destroy the small fleet. Well, to their dismay, the racers just flew on by at great speeds. It didn't take long before the news got back to their High King about the human doings. Immediately, the human diplomats were called upon to explain. The High King at the diplomatic meeting laughed at the idea of racing unarmed fighters for fun. He said his pilots will put the human pilots to shame. Well, humanity accepted the challenge and gave him the racing regulations. To everyone's surprise, the High King made the race top priority within his council. Eventually, the Zuin sent 3 of their best pilots. Each of their ships were inspected before the race to make sure they fit the racing committee standards. To cut a long story short, the Zuin won, just by a fraction of a second. The High King, who was ecstatic with the outcome, ordered a transmission to be broadcasted into human territory of his gloating, and how his pilots are the best in the galaxy. Shortly after, the humans returned a message that surprised the Zuin. We hope you come back next time. If you're brave enough to defend your title well. Zuin took it to their cold hearts. Within a few short months the High King opened the Academy of Racing. See, take this as a lesson on how stupidity can spread. Even though empires. It doesn't stop there. Many years of the humans going head to head with the Zuin, the racing caught the attention of others. The Solar Colonies Racing Committee found themselves swarmed by diplomats, wanting the committee to allow them represent their species. Before the committee knew it, they signed up every empire within the Orion Cygnus arm of the galaxy. All 67 of them. It wasn't long the committee changed their name to the Orion Racing Committee. When the championship started, trillions tuned in on the extranet to watch it. The popularity rose so much that during championship time, the 5 days of racing has been declared an interspecies holiday across all territories involved. The racers became famous across the stars. Fans hung on their every word. Posters, clothing, trading cards were all made in their honor. The idiocy spread like wildfire. The greatest minds even fell for the trap by working the finest engines ever built. They became smaller, lighter, more efficient, more enduring, and some even reaching speeds that put military interceptor ships to shame. It was mind-boggling why these geniuses devoted so much time in something so pathetic. It wasn't long before the head Galactic Council caught wind of the sport. He claimed during the Galactic Congress that the species in the Orion Cygnus arm, that all species in the galaxy, has the right to represent themselves during the championships. Everyone agreed, but what they heard next almost started the Second Separation War. The head demanded that the Orion Racing Committee to be dissolved and all rights and control to be given over to the council. Of course, the idiot spoke out. All 67 representatives spoke out insisting that racing was made by the people, for the people. After many days debating and war threats, the head backed down. He declared SubFTL Racing a galactic treasure, and to the people's dismay, a 10% tax on anything to do with it. Apparently the tax is to help with public safety and security during the championships or something. So that how the galaxy descended into idiocracy by a stupid sport by the humans. Hey, are you still listening? Have you been watching Galactic SubFTL Racing Championships while I was talking to you? Ugh, who won? My species. Really? Did I ever tell you why I love SubFTL Racing? This content is Creative Commons. Relevant attribution can be found in the description. Thanks for watching.